Good morning. Welcome to SSUC. My name is Chris. My pronouns are he, him. Welcome. We welcome you, whoever you are, however you found us this morning, here in person, online, sleepy, awake, ready for time together and connection with each other, ourselves, and the world. Welcome to each one of you. We're so glad that we can be community with one another whenever we meet. And in that community, we affirm our welcome and support and affirmation of each and every person. And so we will speak words together that affirm our identity and our being and who each of us are. If we need to hear it or we don't, or if we've heard it 1,000 times or need it 1,001, let's speak our words of affirmation. We welcome and affirm all sizes, all ages, all colors, all cultures, all abilities, all genders, all sexualities, all learning styles and neurotypes, all religions or none, all people. In a few days, our nation honors Remembrance Day, a time to reflect on the thousands of Canadians who have died in service, to reflect on the cost of war and the value of peace. And so we gather a couple of days before that to hold up this value and ethic of peace and affirm that in working for peace in our lives and in the world, that this is the best and most honest tribute to those who have given their service, to the protection of others, the upholding and the effort of peacekeeping, to live and to create a world of peace is the highest honor we can give. So we honor the wisdom through the ages that's helped us along this path. The wisdom that encircles Abraham and Moses, Jesus of Nazareth, that encircles Muhammad, Buddha, Lao Tzu, indigenous teachings, all the wisdom of every spiritual endeavor. May we find what we need here today and the connection that we might experience to find some peace within ourselves, commitment to that peace in our lives, in our households, in the world. May this be a time of peace.
Good morning. My name is Blair Anderson-Croft, your gathering companion. My pronouns are he and him. We begin by acknowledging that we gather today on Treaty 6 territory, the traditional and ancestral lands of the Cree, Saulteaux Sioux, Nakota Sioux, Blackfoot, and Dene peoples, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. We give thanks for the privilege of meeting on this land, and we recognize the deep and enduring connection that Indigenous peoples maintain with it. A connection grounded in respect, stewardship, and spirituality. As we approach Remembrance Day, we hold in our hearts all who served and sacrificed in the pursuit of peace. We offer special recognition to many Indigenous veterans who answered the call to serve, defending this land long before and after it was called Canada. May our time together be guided by gratitude, reflection, and shared commitment to truth, reconciliation, and peace for all who call this land home. As we prepare to light our candle, may this flame remind us of the light carried by all those who have come before, those who served, and those who have sacrificed for peace, and especially the Indigenous veterans whose courage and contributions too often went unrecognized. May this light guide us towards the truth and reconciliation, towards remembrance and peace, and toward a shared future built on respect, compassion for all creation.
Is anyone interested in a time for all ages where you could come to the carpet and hear a story or two? You're welcome to come. Hello. Come.
Sophie's umbilical cord fell off and she's out of Mommy's tummy.
Oh my goodness, that is good news. And look, she's here this morning. It's beautiful. Day 7, 7 days old. Congratulations. Oh, they're clapping. You've made it just as hard to get up from the carpet as it was before.
10 times.
10 times.
This is the better side.
Beautiful. Welcome, everyone. Today, I've invited Daisy to sit here with me because we're going to share a story for you, but maybe actually it's 2 stories. I want you to listen to the same story 2 times, okay? It sounds strange, but you're going to see how it goes. This is called 2 Goats on a Bridge. There's only one picture. I'm sorry. We're going to have to use our ears this morning. Between 2 mountains, there was a narrow bridge, and on each mountain lived a goat. Some days, the goat from the western mountain would cross the bridge to graze on the eastern mountain. Some days, the goat from the eastern mountain would cross the bridge to graze on the grass on the western mountain. But one day, both goats began to cross the bridge at the same time. Those goats met in the middle, and neither wanted to move. "Get out of the way," shouted the western goat. "I'm crossing this bridge." "Move yourself," bawled the eastern goat. "I am crossing here." And neither of them would back up, and neither of them would go forward, and they stood there fuming for a long time. Then at last, they both moved forward, locked horns, and began to push. And they were so evenly matched in strength that the only thing that they managed to do was push each other off the bridge. They were wet, and they were furious, and they climbed out of the river, and they stomped off to their homes, and each of them was muttering, "What a stubborn goat." Daisy, you want to tell this story again?
Oh, yeah. This is 2 goats on the bridge. Between 2 mountains lay a narrow bridge. On each mountain lived a goat. Some days, the goat from the western mountain would cross the bridge to graze on the eastern mountain. Some days, the goat from the eastern mountain would cross the bridge to graze on the western mountain. But one day, both goats began to cross the bridge at the same time. The 2 goats met in the middle of the bridge. "We have a problem here," said the western goat. "So it seems," said the eastern goat. "I do not want to back up," said the western goat. "Well, neither do I," said the eastern goat. "This bridge is narrow, but perhaps if we're both very careful," added the western goat, "we could pass without falling," concluded the eastern goat. "We can try," agreed the 2 goats. And cautiously, they squeezed past, each being careful not to overbalance the other. So, the goats passed peacefully and went on their way. Each could be heard to mutter, "What a cooperative goat."
Well, that had 2 very different endings, huh? We are going to imagine for a minute that we're goats. I know. Neither of us, none of us, are one kind of goat or another. Sometimes we're stubborn goats, and we just don't want to back up, and we don't want to be helpful, and we don't want to just, balance our way around other people. And sometimes we are cooperative goats. And we like the idea of helping each other and getting what we all need. Are you feeling like a stubborn goat or a cooperative goat today? Cooperative? Any stubborn goats in the crowd today? Yo, a few? Good. Oh, man. That's right. Just wait. Sometimes the cooperative goats today will be stubborn goats tomorrow, and stubborn goats today might be cooperative tomorrow. We all feel this way. But the reason we read two stories is because maybe the stubborn goat way is not entirely the best way for making friends. Would you say? Yeah. The stubborn goats are going to find themselves alone a lot. And maybe they're going to be angry a lot. And maybe they're going to get into little battles and challenges and fights and arguments a lot. So, yes, we're stubborn goats and we're cooperative goats. But I want to encourage us to hear the second part of that story with the cooperative goats, who try to find a way for both of them on the bridge, to find ways to make it work. This is what working for peace and working for friendship and being kind is all about. It's trying to find ways where there isn't one winner and one loser, or everyone ending up in the river. It's a way to find it so that it can work for everyone. This is cooperation. This is what it means to work for justice and peace. And we all do that, even if we're small. We do that in our families and with our friends. So the work of justice and peace is all of ours to be. We all are trying to be cooperative goats. So, maybe you'll make your way to Kid Spirit today, and if 5 of you try to go through the doorway all at once, maybe some of you will say, oh, I think there's a better way. We could cooperate and get through this door together. That's just one silly example. You know that, right? You know that, yes. All right. You got it. You're creative. Yeah, maybe 2, not 5. Yeah, exactly. So you could go 2 at a time, and then 2 more, and then 1 at the end, and you've all made it through the door. Creative. Awesome. Thanks for hearing these stories today. All of you cooperative and some grumpy goats may make their way to Kid Spirit this morning. You older teenage goats might make your way to Youth Space this morning. I hope you have a great morning. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 at once. 3 worked really well. We've shared these words before in this room. This is a prayer of West Hill United Church in Ontario, and it's inspired by the prayer of St. Francis, which we might share together as we strengthen our intentions this morning. We're invited to speak together. As I live every day, I want to be a channel for peace. May I bring love where there is hatred, and healing where there is hurt, joy where there is sadness, and hope where there is fear. I pray that I may always try to understand and comfort other people, as well as seeking comfort and understanding from them. Wherever possible, may I choose to be a light in the darkness, a help in times of need, and a caring, honest friend. And may justice, kindness, and peace flow from my heart forever.
No, I don't know why it takes us so long. They shall not grow old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years complain at the going down of the sun, and in the morning we will remember. We will remember them.
We have a few moments to share some of what's happening in the life and the work of our community this morning and in the weeks coming up. Want to remind you that we have a weekly e-newsletter that comes in our email boxes on Fridays. If you don't receive that, please subscribe and get all the news that you might need in the life and the work of us together. Just a few things to share this morning. On behalf of the team that planned our fall frolic and dinner and silent auction on Friday night, thank you all for attending, that were here and celebrating and having a good time together on Friday night. Both of the co-chairs of that team are having a break this weekend, and I don't blame them after all that work. But they wanted me to share with you that because of the way that we supported the dinner, because of the way we supported in bidding on the silent and live auction items, we have raised for the work of SSUC about $11,000. So thank you very much. Really amazing. that will go so far in supporting all the work we have yet to do in this budget year in 2025, and so many thanks for all of you who supported that. Just a quick announcement for what's coming up. On November the 20th at 7 p.m., we are going to have a brief candlelight gathering here for the Transgender Day of Remembrance. It's a chance for a quiet time to remember the lives that have been lost, all those who have died in the trans community, and to remember the significance of their lives and the work that is still to be done in working for a life of justice and peace and acceptance and affirmation for those who identify as transgender. Well, here we go. Look at this. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Erin Robinson. My pronouns are she and her. No, not on. Is that better? Yeah. Good morning. Erin Robinson with the Merry Moments Market. My pronouns are she and her. I am once again appealing for cookies. I had no props today. But cookies and treats for the market, because people like to buy cookies and treats that other people have made. And the process is you make a bunch of cookies and treats and deliver them to SSUC by the 27th or 28th, and then they get packed up in boxes, and then they are sold on the Saturday concurrent with the market. Sign-up sheet for baking is in the foyer, please. And please write your emails very clearly so I can interpret. Thank you. Also a reminder for Christmas treasures that are looking for a new home. The refugee group will have a pre-loved sale in the lower level at the same time as the market for those things that are in your basement gathering dust and need a new home to be loved. As well, final note, please spread the word about the market. There are some postcard-sized printouts on the table in the foyer available for you to hand out to your friends and neighbors. And the links are also on the SSUC Facebook page, so and on the website as well. So thank you so much.
Good morning, no? Yes, the red light is on. Hi, everyone. My name is Marg Hetherington. My pronouns are she and her. I'm here on behalf of the 100th anniversary celebrations, which, believe it or not, are next Sunday morning. Part 2. I wonder if there will be a part 3. Or is this the grand finale? It will be another very significant spiritual gathering next Sunday morning, and aren't they all? Thank you to everyone who makes that possible. You know, our passion for social justice has very deep roots in the United Church and to our very, very present SSUC commitments, and that's our theme for next Sunday. Now, there has been an unbelievable, amazing response to our pie and fruit potluck. 27 pies have been volunteered and 10 fruit plates, so that's all in hand. Now, there's going to be a work bee. It wouldn't be an anniversary celebration of 100 years without a work bee, would it? Next Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m., we're going to transform this room for Sunday, and we would love some help with that, especially some strong arms and shoulders. So next Saturday afternoon, if you'd sign up, if you can come for just probably an hour, should do it. Next Saturday afternoon, excuse me. And we still need helpers for some small things, so Sunday sign-ups, but some people to serve pie, dish up ice cream, have the fruit plates available. Like, what's more fun than serving pie and ice cream? So please sign up. Fair number of people needed to to help us all find our dessert. It's only dessert. I've heard a few rumors it should be more, but it's not a potluck. That's maybe part 3. Anyway, the last bit here. All who are able are invited to consider giving an over and above 100th anniversary gift to SSUC for our continuing life and work. There will be special envelopes next Sunday, and we can bring those gifts for the next 2 weeks as we head toward the end of November. And you know, it's a very timely giving because it is our Engagement Stewardship Month, and we're probably all thinking about, do we have some over and above gifting that we might do? I've been thinking that I'm going to put in $100 over and above to mark the 100 years of United Church. I've been part of it for most of those years, goodness sakes. But you know, honestly, 82 of them I've been part of it. It's almost 100. So, but you know, I have such gratitude in my heart for this church of ours, not just for this very one, but for many churches across the nation. And for me, I've had a sense of belonging from my beginning, a sense of welcome. It's the United Church that prepared and equipped my husband and myself for active full-time ministry in the United Church of Canada. The friends that I have made over the years, it's almost incredible to think the communities around Alberta where we served and where Bob especially served, the friendships there, you can put no value on them. They are priceless. And similarly here. And I got thinking about Bob, especially this morning. And you know, I think I'm going to put another $100 in to this over and above in the spirit of Bob Hetherington, who, yes, you know, Bob served here from 1994 to 2003, a wonderful part of his life journey. And so let's think about how we might gift. I'm so committed, as you are, to the future and the present of this SSUC community of action and love. So I know that we will support it as we can, and there are many other ways to be supporting. It doesn't have to be financial, of course. So we'll see you next Sunday. What a party we are going to have.
I've invited Marg to stay and stand with me as a good friend that she was to Iris, as we this morning honor the life of Iris Stanley, who this morning has died at the University of Alberta Hospital. Iris, as many of you might most recently remember her as this powerful woman in her power scooter. After moving here and making a life in Canada from Germany so many years ago, we recognize her life as such a proud Canadian, and we remember her wonderful smile, her no-nonsense attitude, her life as a mother, a friend, a fierce lover of her cats. She loved her Tuesday Connection women with all her heart. The chance always to connect with a hug, with a conversation, with her favorite snacks and treats. For the way this community was family to Iris, with her children and with other family long in distance away. This truly was Iris's family. So our hearts are with her children, her close friends, like Marg, like Sandra, like so many of you who were family, and all of us who knew her. We honor Iris's life. No gathering is planned yet, but we will have those conversations, and you'll hear more about that in the coming weeks. So, as is our custom, may we honor Iris's life, celebrate her, and mourn her loss as we sing that she is indeed safe in the undying light of love. I'd like to share a wisdom reading, a poem by Denise Levertov entitled Making Peace. A voice from the dark called out, "The poets must give us imagination of peace, to oust the intense, familiar imagination of disaster. Peace, not only the absence of war, but peace like a poem, is not there ahead of itself, can't be imagined before it's made, can't be known except in the words of its making. Grammar of justice, syntax of mutual aid. A feeling towards it, dimly sensing a rhythm, is all we have until we begin to utter its metaphors, learning them as we speak. A line of peace might appear if we restructured the sentence our lives are making, revoked its reaffirmation of profit and power, questioned our needs, allowed long pauses. A cadence of peace might balance its weight on that different fulcrum. Peace, a presence, an energy field more intense than war, might pulse then, stanza by stanza, into the world. Each act of living, one of its words, each word a vibration of light, facets of the forming crystal. These are insights of a 20th century American poet. May we find wisdom.
Reading this morning from Micah, chapter 4, verses 2 to 3. Many nations will come to the holy mountain and say, "We will learn the ways and walk the paths of peace." Justice will be established in the rubble of nations. Disputes will be settled in faraway places. They will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore. These are the words of an ancient prophet. May we find wisdom for our living.
Those words from the prophet Micah paint a picture of a dream, a vision of peace. Perhaps that's the vision of peace, where weapons are turned into farming implements and nations no longer participate in taking a warring and aggressive and violent posture. It's a beautiful vision held by the world's enduring religious traditions. That's an image held by international groups and agencies. It's an ideal held out in front of the world as an aspiration of safety and mutual respect and peace. It's been encapsulated in art, in mosaics for centuries. Even in the metaphor of creating new architecture out of old military weaponry. But we live in the space between two worlds, don't we? We live with this dream in one hand and the reality of nations and leaders who would seek to expand and use their power to gain and conquer and to use their might in exploitation in the other hand. We live in a place where we seek inner peace, peace among us in one hand, and in the other, we live in a place where selfishness and the need for control impacts our economies and our politics and our relationships. And in the face of this reality and holding all of these weighty things, we ask ourselves, what is the fair and just response? How do we work for peace? And that's why talking about peace is a challenging task. Today is a day when we remember those who have served this country, past and present, to give us the kinds of freedoms and rights we currently enjoy and need to protect. We honor those who served and continue to serve in diverse ways to defend values, to aid the world's nations, to stand beside and in front of the defenseless, and to give their own freedom and sometimes their lives in service of those commitments. And at the same time, we don't live only by civic duty. We are more than just citizens of Canada, or Western democracies, or organizations of shared interests. We are also planetary citizens. We are siblings with each and every human being, regardless of nation. We are, by the very nature of our being here, on some kind of spiritual journey in our lives, seeking value, meaning, purpose, love. By nature that we're here and seeking spiritual wisdom, we are also demanding something else of ourselves and the world. Not just remembering and honoring, but also calling ourselves and others to a better way. Calling for peaceful solutions in ways that honor the sacredness of life. And because working for peace is a lifelong endeavor, because working for it on a global scale is an overwhelming and monumental task, because the dream, the vision, is often too grand, we must think about it like every other of our sacred and spiritual values. We must live it personally and locally for it to have any impact on the world. So we take this grand vision of nations not taking up sword against nation, of us beating our swords into plowshares and spears into pruning hooks. We take that grand vision and we say, but what about me today? There's a story in the Jesus tradition of a landowner who lends sums of money to various individuals. They do different things with the money. One invests it and turns it into a fortune. Another one does something a little more modest, but receives kind of a little gain, a little interest on the money. One of them digs a hole and puts the money in, doesn't retrieve it until the lender asks for it back. And the lender then speaks to them all and indicates to those that did something with the money, even something small, that they had been faithful in small things, and so thus larger things would be in store for them. That cute and often told little parable tells us a little bit about how we should go about these grand visions. The point, we start small. We seek small successes. These small successes accumulate one on top of another, mine with yours, yours with each other. Ours together begin to make a difference, a larger and larger difference, and before you know it, we're impacting families or communities or public policy, maybe nations. We have to be faithful in the small things in order to see the grand, big visions ever come to pass. We build peace one small word and action at a time, which is why I love this poem. She talks about peace as being built when word upon word just come one after the other. With one crossing of a bridge, we work for peace. With one conversation, we work for peace. With examples we're learning from each other, from the Jesus tradition, from children, etc., etc. With the way we speak to our friends, with the way we invite them to coffee, with the way we give gifts that no one asked us to give but are beautiful expressions of love. How about this simple teaching from the early church, trying to figure it all out? Clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other, forgive one another. These little tidbits appear often in the wisdom writings of our tradition. They seem really simple, but they're just like these little things that say, well, how do I do this kind of life? How do I live this spiritual existence? How do I work for peace? Oh, maybe I just do this thing like be gentle, be humble, be patient. Not that those are easy, but it's also not rocket science. Or, as I like to say in my house, it's not music theory. Basic human decency. Gifting each other with dignity. It happens in the small moments so that we're practiced and rehearsed for it to happen in the large moments. I think I've said this once or twice. What we do here is rehearsal. We are a bunch of people who want to live in these ways that work for these grand visions, but do it in small little ways. And how we do that with each other is rehearsal for how we do it in the other 6 days of our week. Here in this safe place, in this way that we can interact with each other. Today's poet, Denise Levertov, offers such a powerful way of describing this kind of homebrew peacemaking. It's like the learning of a language. It's like the writing of a poem. It happens one word, one phrase, one image at a time. It's not prefab. You don't buy it from IKEA. It's not fully assembled out of a box. We come up with it one little thing at a time. We make it up as we go. Let me just read you that one stanza of hers again. Peace, like a poem, is not there ahead of itself, can't be imagined before it's made, can't be known except in the words of its making, grammar of justice, syntax of mutual aid. We'll do it one tiny step at a time. May this peace be with us as we remember, and more so as we work at creating the language of peace in our own lives, however that's going to happen. A small bit of making peace out of the raw material of your Wednesday morning or your Saturday afternoon. And you know what? Nations will follow.
please join me in the intentions for peace. If there is to be peace in the world, there must be peace in the nations. If there is to be peace in the nations, there must be peace in the cities. If there is to be peace in the cities, there must be peace between neighbors. If there is to be peace between neighbors, there must be peace in the home. If there is to be peace in the home, there must be peace in the heart.
Home is where peace and hope and love reside. And so in all of our walking, may you find your way home to yourself and to your heart. And may we go always with an ethic of peace built one flame, one word, one person at a time.